lovely people, and welcome back to this week's new video in which I attempt to read for 2 hours every day for a week. Hello, if you're new here, I am a bookish and lifestyle content creator born and raised and still based in New York City, so if that sounds like of any interest to you, I would absolutely love it if you would stick around and subscribe at the end if you so please. I thought this would be fun because I have done a reading 30 minutes upon waking up type of challenge. I've done page count challenges, but I kind of wanted to see how much I read in an allotted time period, and also if I can actually read for 2 hours a day. I mainly read a bunch of graphic novels, but also I am finishing the rest of Jade Legacy by Fonda, and also trying out horror with When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen, and probably the graphic novel you would know would be like Paper Girls, the series that I'm continuing. So I'm going to take you back to last week to see how this went. So far I have read about 30 minutes actually. I have been reading Jade Legacy. I came back from Miami yesterday and I brought this thinking that I would vlog. Didn't do that. I think I just came to realize that I don't like to vlog while on vacation. I didn't get to read as much as I wanted to at the beach either. I'm interested to see how much I've read. I've read about 30 pages as well in like 26 minutes. I'm going to leave soon for work. Hopefully I can read the full 2 hours because I think I've done the 30 minutes before bed or hour. That was like years ago though, and I've done the whole read 250 pages, so I'm curious to see how many pages I can end up reading in like an allotted time throughout the day. I just also kind of want to keep it consistent and read because usually on like Wednesdays and Saturdays I read the least. Probably also Sundays. I just want to see how much I can get done. I'm really liking the book so far. This is the last book in the Greenbone saga. It is a high fantasy, but it's also incredibly political because the clans operate as a business, as like their own society. This book is also taking place over like numerous years, and I forget if the other books did that too, or it's just this one solely because it is the last one. It's kind of slow moving, but I don't mind at all because I really enjoy the characters. I really love this story, this world, so I don't mind that it's slow paced at all. The kids are also like all grown up, not totally, but they're much older now. I love Shay still, and Nguyen still love. I wish there was a little bit more of Andersen, but he's doing his thing. I'm just having a really wonderful time with this. I'm going to read for like a tiny bit more before I need to leave, and then hopefully I can get some reading done on the train without falling asleep. Yay! I have not read at all, and it's bad because I need to leave for work soon, and I'm probably going to be at work pretty late. Last night I stayed out really late, like way later than I typically do after work. Came back, but then I knew that I needed to read for the 2 hours, and I still had about 40 minutes left, so I ended up reading for 2 hours and 7 minutes, almost 8, because I wanted to like finish a chapter. So that is 127 minutes. And in that time, I read 134 pages of my book, Jade Legacy, which I'm still really, really liking. They're all now much, much older. Even Shay is like, I think she was already having her kid at 40. She didn't start out that age also, and I think I'm only like 50% of the way through. Andy is, I think, probably in his 30s now, also late 30s maybe. I didn't even read the synopsis for this book because I just knew that I wanted to read it. Obviously it's the last one, so I have no idea like where this is supposed to go because the slow war is still going on. They still have a lot of enemies and they are making a lot of rivals, but also creating trans-Amaric relationships. They're furthering their business plans in the East Hispania, and I think Yucatan, but aren't they the enemy? Oh, that's Shotar. Okay, so that's happening. I still need to get ready for work. I'm like packing to stay over in the East Village tonight, but I'm basically done. I just need to like change, so I think I'm going to read, which doesn't leave me much time before I leave, maybe an hour or so, but hopefully I can do that and then get the other hour-ish on the train because I definitely won't be reading anymore after that. Low-key, I almost gave up on this video because I had no idea if I would actually be able to read for the full 2 hours last night. My plan was for me to come home and be able to read on the train, but a coworker's girlfriend, my friend, ended up coming and staying, so we were chatting, and that's always my excuse thing. One thing leads to another. I always think I'm gonna leave early and I don't. But it was nice because I hadn't stayed like that in a long time on a Monday with the Monday people, so it was nice. The thing I really like my book. Like, it's taking me a long time to read. I started this on Thursday, but it is a chunky book. It's over 700 pages, and I really love this world, so I don't really mind at all, because, you know, like my last vlog, I get really bored if I'm reading something for too long, or my last vlog, and it's a shorter book, and I feel like there's like not enough to keep me interested, but there's so many moving parts. It's honestly like a game of chess, even though I don't know how to play. It's been really good. Yesterday, day 2 of this challenge, whatever this is, I failed. I read, I think, an hour and 21 minutes, so 81 minutes in total, but I read 100 pages. Amazing. 100 on the dot. I haven't read it all today, and it's like 7:30. I came home during rush hour, so I couldn't read on the train because I was standing, so I definitely want to get in my 2 hours of reading. I have the house to myself tonight, although that makes me want to just watch TV and stuff. The plus side is that tomorrow, Thursday, I'm gonna be dog sitting. I haven't seen Daphne in a long time, in maybe like 2 months, so it'd be really nice to have her here, and she just sleeps the whole day, so I feel like she'd be a really nice reading companion to get this book done. I'm now about 68% of the way through of Jade Legacy, so I don't have that many pages left. I think maybe 300, so like 1 book's worth, like a typical book, so I would really like to finish it by tomorrow, if not today. That's kind of ambitious, but I mean, I read relatively fast, so I would like to read in a little bit. I had a super late lunch with Coda, so I am not really hungry, so maybe I should just sit and read in the daylight while there's still some brightness. Maybe I'll sit outside because it's been kind of nice. It was really humid pre-Miami. Miami was obviously humid. We come back and it's like gorgeous weather. Very little humidity. It's still sunny and nice, and it's just comfortable to be outside. You know, it's now mid-August, so it feels really good. As for the book, Andersen, we find out, is now 38, so that's so weird. The part where I finished off yesterday was like so sad, and my heart broke for Hilo, and I'm so glad that he has Andy. Just anything else, I'm afraid to like give out spoilers, even though this book has been out for a while. I really like this. One of my Instagram friends said that she like totally cried reading this. Definitely reading the 3rd book. I am excited to reread the whole series, the whole trilogy in one go, back to back. Even though it would take a while, but I would totally want to do that because I really love this series. I feel like the world is so vast, and there's always just going to be new details that I pick up on, the ones that I have forgotten, and it's just going to be really nice. And I think it'd be really awesome to read everything again after knowing what's going to happen, just to see like how things intertwine and how things are put into play, and see how brilliant Fonda is. I've been having a really amazing time with this, but because I have been reading this for quite some time, almost a week now, it means that I am kind of falling back on my Goodreads challenge. I'm not necessarily fully behind yet. Again, I'm now 1 book ahead of schedule as opposed to 3, but I do have a bunch of library books that I picked up on Tuesday before leaving for work that I will haul now because I think I might end up reading them in this vlog. I have been on a graphic novel binge or whatever streak, so I have a few of those, as well as some books that I have been excited about. One that's like a lot shorter than I expected it to be. I'm continuing with the Paper Girls series. I have Paper Girls volume 4 and 5, written by Brian K. Vaughan, who authored Saga, and it's illustrated by Cliff Chiang. If you watched my last vlog, you'll see that I read the 2nd book, so this is now the 3rd book of Sarah Andersen's Sarah Scribbles collection. This one is Herding Cats. It's just like totally relatable comics with some personal essays offered as I guess a survival guide in modern life. It's really just cute, funny. I don't have to think about much, and it's just a nice time. And then I found Lola, a ghost story by Torres and Elbert Orr. Jesse didn't really know his Lola, which is the Tagalog word for a grandmother, but he remembers that she tried to drown him as a baby. That's kind of dark. Strange stories surround Lola. She had visions, she fought off monsters straight out of Filipino folklore, and according to some, she may have even seen ghosts. The folklore aspect kind of reminds me of one of my favorite graphic novels, Magic Fish, which I read last year and absolutely loved, which was included, I think, Vietnamese, not folklore maybe, but like fairy tales. That kind of reminds me of that. I gave Magic Fish 5 stars and immediately went out to buy my own copy because I borrowed it from the library, so maybe I'll have a good time with these. So those are the graphic novels that I have. And then I have 4 novels. A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. I know this was a popular one on BookTube, and this is a lot also shorter than I thought. I think it's about 200 pages. I just remember everybody really loving it. It's a reimagining of Dracula's Brides. I've never read anything like that, so there's this. I also have Ruth Ware's The Death of Mrs. Westaway because she has a new novel out, and I remember thinking I really liked Turn of the Key. Probably might be my top one, and that was like the first book I got Coda to read since we've been dating, and so I know I hear this one a lot, so finally decided to pick this one up. I've only read Turn of the Key, The Woman in Cabin 10, and then One by One, which was like kind of disappointing. I have What Moves the Dead by T. Kingfisher, which I've also been seeing around on Goodreads lately. I think this is the book club pick for Lala's like literally dead book club this month, so really pumped. This one's also super short. I have never read anything by T. Kingfisher, but I've been hearing her name a lot. I think it'll be a really creepy time. The last one that I have is Finley Donovan is Killing It, which has been on my radar. It has been something that I've been wanting to read, and I heard that it is like a mystery, but it's like a funny time because she is, I think Finley Donovan is an author, and she is talking to her publicist about this mystery plot that she is planning for a book. It's a murder plot, and so someone hires her thinking that she is an assassin. So if that is at all correct. I've only read for like 15 minutes today. Daphne is here. I tried to get down to some reading, but I ended up napping for 45 minutes because I slept for like 5 hours last night. I really couldn't fall asleep. I thought I could do it without melatonin because I had a late night the night before, so I just needed to rest. I did it in like 15-minute intervals. Daphne's here with me for like an hour more. I have less than 100 pages left of Jade City, so I really want to be able to finish this today, obviously. I do have a whole pile of books as well as the 2 library books that I was able to renew from like 2 weeks ago. I'm like kind of sad that I'm going to be finished with this. I did upload a new Bookstagram photo with this and took a few with Daphne as well, just to have a little stocked up for the next coming posts. I don't really know where this is headed. There's like a new deal that the mountain that Aitmata is doing that the No Peak Clan was able to figure out. I have no idea what the plan is. Hilo is there with Lotjin, but I don't really know what's supposed to happen. I want this to end well, you know, obviously, because it's supposed to be the last book, I believe. I've already cried last night reading. It's gonna be a spoiler, but it has to do with one of the kids, and it just like broke me. I really am loving Hilo this book. I really liked Hilo and everything else, but I feel like I'm coming to get to know him and seeing him soften over the years a little bit. I'm really sad I'm not gonna be done with it. I have now finished Jade Legacy exactly a week later, and this is easily 5 stars for me. I really hope that the first 2 books, I think it was like 3, 4.25 or 4 and 4.25 or something. I really hope that I enjoy them better the second time around because I love this world so much, and I appreciate Fonda Lee and her brilliant brain for creating such a world. I feel like it ended exactly how I wanted it to. It's definitely not in a way that I could have figured out, but I feel like I am, or actually, I don't know. The point is I'm very content with this ending. I'm very pleased with how it went. It clearly shows the direction, the future of Greenbone Warriors, of the No Peak clan that we have come to love and become loyalists to. I loved every step of this, and I definitely see Aitmata being portrayed by Michelle Yeoh. Just because of like the commanding presence that she has herself, and I guess seeing her martial arts skills come into play as a Greenbone Warrior would be so awesome. awesome. I thoroughly enjoyed my time with this. That is, I think, an hour and 20 minutes, 22 minutes read. Unfortunately, as you can see, my clock app completely deleted everything from my stopwatch, so I don't have the exact numbers. I think I said them in the vlog, so hopefully I can just use that, but I will be taking screenshots from now on to track my reading for the next few days. I'm a little bit worried about Saturday because I truly never read on Saturday. I will be picking up a new book, and I think tomorrow I will be reading some graphic novels. I'm out of the shower. I have a mini breakfast. Last night, I read quite a lot. I'm actually going to come back with a page count. My total for yesterday was actually 463 pages because I finished 3 books. I finished Jade Legacy, and then I started a new book because not all of them added to 2 hours. My entire page count so far is 864. Yesterday definitely helped to push that. I feel like maybe I'm reading more hours throughout the week. No, this seems about right. Anyway, the books that I read, the 3 graphic novels that I finished were obviously very short, easy reads, so they didn't add up to reading for a very long time, but they did up my page count a lot. I started off with Herding Cats, the 3rd book in the Sarah Scribbles collection by Sarah Andersen, and I gave this 3 stars. I didn't quite have as much of like a connection or like laughing moments with this one. The personal essay portion of this was more about like creative people who work within that field, so I didn't really relate to that. Then I went in with Lola, a ghost story by Jade, Torres, and illustrated by Elbert, which I think I'm also going to give 3 stars. There ended up being a little like glossary type situation with drawings of what they look like, but I think it was kind of like this boy being maybe a medium, just like his Lola, and him being able to connect with her after she'd passed in a way that he never had before. Because I needed to read for longer, I wanted to borrow the 4th book of this, but turns out my library only had the ebook, so I just read that via Libby, and it's called Oddball, which I think 4 stars maybe. But then I had like 5 minutes left to read. I was an hour and 55 minutes in, and I kind of like wanted to avoid starting a new book, but alas, I had to, and ended up reading just 1 chapter of this. I read for 2 hours and 12 minutes and 24 pages of When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen, which I finally got to after having to renew this, as well as Rebel by Beverly Jenkins from the library. This is a horror story. It's quite short. It's like 230-ish pages. I might end up bringing a new book with me for the weekend. I will obviously be reading this today, as well as the 2 volumes of Paper Girls that I have. This is a horror story on a plantation turned like country club. Mira fled Gibson, her small segregated hometown in the South, to forget, and her best friend Celine was mocked by the town as being the only white girl with black friends, and they also become friends with Jessie, the woodsman plantation rumored to be haunted by the spirits of slaves from the terrifying memory of a ghost she saw on that terrible day when a dare gone wrong almost got Jessie, the boy she secretly loved, arrested for murder. And she's finally back in Gibson, her hometown, for Celine's wedding at this plantation after it has been transformed into a lush vacation resort. Mira is hoping to reconnect with her friends and tell Jessie about her real feelings and what happened that day. For all its fancy renovations, the Woodsman remains a monument to its oppressive racist history. The bar serves antebellum themed drinks, entertainment includes horrifying reenactments, and the service staff is nearly all black. I've been hearing about this since like Summerween, and I think before lunch I will try to read at least 1 of the graphic novels. This is about a group of 4 paper girls in the 1980s. Shit's going down. There's like aliens, time travel, it looks like invaders. They are being transported from time to time, and they need to figure out how the fuck to get back, what the heck is going on. I'm rushing to like finish packing. I just finished Paper Girls 4, and I want to read Paper Girls 5 without bringing it, but I also still need to change, get ready, clean my room, because my mom's college friend is coming to visit. She'll be staying in my room. Paper Girls 4 is my 100th book of the year because When the Reckoning Comes is 99th. I feel like the whole series is just gonna be a 3, but I have like just enough time to read the 5th book, and then I'm gonna head out. Yesterday, I just made it. I read like 2 hours on the dot. I don't have a page count, but I did read Paper Girls Volume 4 and 5. With that series, it's very obviously futuristic and sci-fi, but there's a lot of references to Apple, and I'm thinking, is that supposed to like be a message of technological takeover? And seeing the monsters or creatures that exist in Saga is making me think, is Paper Girls like a prequel to show what the world looked like and how it ended up is like Saga, if that makes any sense. Anyway, I have read 141 pages of When the Reckoning Comes. Like I said, this book is not very long and I'm definitely over the halfway mark. I'm getting a little bit of the haunted aspect, the horror aspect. No one has outright said that the Woodsman Plantation is haunted. However, you can kind of understand that, and I think Jessie knows it and Mira is figuring it out, but they haven't yet said it to each other. It's actually also really creepy because the Woodsman Plantation, they do reenactments like the synopsis said. It's really disgusting because the people who are paying to go see these reenactments and to go eat and spend their money at the plantation are rich white people watching struggling black people reenact situations that their ancestors were in just to make money to get by. That idea that is so incredibly sad. It makes me sad to know that Jessie's working there. We are actually getting ready to leave for like a super late lunch, and we also made dinner plans with our friends. I don't think that I can read even 30 minutes today, let alone half an hour. This challenge isn't really going well, I would say, but also it wasn't exactly a challenge. I just wanted to see if I could read 2 hours a day and how many pages I read. It definitely has confirmed that I read quite fast, and I'm definitely someone who reads every single day. Seeing people who are in reading slumps and they're like, oh yeah, I didn't read anything this whole month, I just cannot fathom that idea because I commute. I get my best reading done on the train. Let me know what your reading habits are. Like, do you read every day, especially if you're in a car, you commute by car? Like, do you listen to music or audiobooks? I ended up reading a lot more on Saturday than I thought. I read almost an hour, so I was able to finish When the Reckoning Comes by LaTanya McQueen, and I'm giving it 3.5 stars. It's definitely quite atmospheric, and it's definitely kind of more like, oh my gosh, I'm so horrified, as opposed to being like scared. It was also a little bit about Mira confronting her anti-blackness, coming to the realization that she could have done more to help Jessie. I just felt like I wanted to be more afraid. I feel like it was too rooted in truth for it to be like a real horror situation for me. But I still really enjoyed the atmosphericness and the writing of it, so I think I will be on the hunt for other books by this author. Oh, this is her first one, so I can't wait to see what this author puts out next, if they're going to keep with horror. Yesterday I started Finley Donovan is Killing It, which I'm having like a lot of fun with. I feel like this would be like a dramedy. I would definitely enjoy that. It's kind of comical and like sad. She's this single mom raising 2 kids, and of course her ex-husband is swooping in on the weekends to like show that he's the hero. He's got it all put together with the new wife that he was cheating on his original wife with, Finley. At this point, everything has gone down. It's been like really good research for her book so far, I would say. The only thing is that I have no idea how many hours that I read, because I ended up sleeping or something and my timer kept running. I don't know, I guess I just forgot to turn it off. It's definitely under 2 hours. However, I still read a decent amount, over 163 pages, so I don't think that I was too far behind. Let me see how many pages I read. I ended up reading a total of 1,494 pages. Although I did not read exactly 2 hours every day, I still read every day, even Saturday, which is amazing for me. This was pretty fun. I think maybe depending on my schedule, I could try to do it again, and because I didn't exactly succeed in reading 2 hours every day, I could try again. I definitely think that 2 hours is possible, because had I just started reading earlier in the day, I definitely could have done it. I first wanted to do a switching screen time for reading, which I had started, I had been doing, and it hadn't been going too well because it was about 4 to 5 hours, which is a lot, and if I couldn't even do 2, especially on days that I have work. I don't think that it would have been possible, so I wanted to try with something like this. Eventually, if I wanted to keep filming more videos like this, I could keep upping the ante. I had a pretty fun time with this, so I hope you enjoyed. I am still going to be enjoying my read for this book, and I will see you all next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!